back, Siri, and welcome to my kitchen video series. Now, in the next couple of videos, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of tips on how you can maximize your efforts in the kitchen. That way you can maximize your results with your health and fitness. Now, like the saying goes, abs are made in the kitchen, and you cannot out-train a bad diet. You gotta always focus on what you eat, because what you eat is what's going to reshape how you look. It's going to give you health. You know, health comes from your nutrition, fitness comes from your exercise. So you want to have both, but when it comes to seeing results, you want to make sure that your nutrition is a priority. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of things that you need to have in the kitchen. That way it's easier for you to cook, and the easier it is for you to cook and meal prep, then the easier it will be for you to stick with your meal plan and see better results. Alright guys, so let's get started with some of the essential things that you need to have in your kitchen. So I'm just gonna show you around some of the things that I use most often. So first of all, you need a cutting board. If you're gonna be eating healthy, you need a cutting board. You need to cut, measure, and store food in your container. So a cutting board is essential. You can have multiple cutting boards. This is just the one I like. I like the cutting boards to have like a little groove here, so that if you're cutting like meat or tomatoes, the juices don't just overflow through the edges of the cutting board and get everywhere. So I like one like this. I think this is from Walmart. I don't remember. If you are eating anything from a can, like canned beans or tuna, a can opener is needed. Now, I highly recommend that you are using measuring spoons. This takes you from 1 tablespoon to half a tablespoon, teaspoon, half a teaspoon. There are some that come with more. You really need these things, especially for your oils, peanut butter, what else? Coconut oil. I use them a lot for fat, so I also use them for coffee. Then you have the very important measuring cups. You really want to have a set of these ones. That way you know your servings. Portion control is so important to your results that you have to have a way of measuring your portions. And for me, the most important measurements are 1/4. Well, this is 1/3. 1/4, half a cup, and the full cup. And 3/4 of a cup. It's also important. I don't care too much about 2/3 or 1/3. Most of the stuff that I eat is 1/4, which most of the time it's like for dairy, like cheese, or for nuts. I use the half a cup a lot for many carbs, such as brown rice, sweet potato, like quinoa. Let me see, potatoes. Basically all carbs. That's just the serving size that I usually have. It's the one that's appropriate for me. Another carb would be oatmeal. I just forget. Now you have your measuring cups, your measuring spoons, your chopping block or whatever, your cutting board. Now then you have to have some knives. Like I recommend the Santaku knives. The Santaku is basically the shape of the knife. So you see there's a small one, there's this big one here. I honestly prefer the small knives. At least for my hands, they're easier for me to maneuver, and I feel like I have more control. The big one's just too big. Also, something important about getting a knife, you want to make sure that the knife is well balanced in weight from the blade to the hilt. Like this one feels heavy all around, but this one, all the weight is here. So you want to have one that's completely balanced, and you see the blade runs through the whole entire thing. Sometimes these ones just run till the middle. But anyways, you can research knives on your own. That's not the point of this video. Let me put them away, or else I'm going to continue to talk about them. Now you need some way to cook, and most of this one here, I like it because of the grooves. It's nice for stuff like steak, chicken, and pork. I like to cook meat in this frying pan, but most of the time I use this one, and it doesn't matter if the lid doesn't fit it properly. My old one broke, so or wasn't working too well. So I had to get a new one. The lid doesn't work properly, or doesn't fit properly, but it gets the job done. And I like these ones because I can just spray some non-stick spray or add some olive oil or some coconut oil, and I can cook chicken here, I can cook my meats here, I can cook my omelets, my eggs, my pancakes. I can do pretty much everything here. It's just that that one has the grooves, and I like how the meats turn up there. The second most important frying pan or stovetop item would be something that you can make brown rice in, or something you can make beef stew or black beans, and that has a lid. You can also make oatmeal here, although I use the microwave for that most of the time. Then the last major thing that you will need will be Tupperware. If you really want to make sure that you're eating according to your goals, you have to ensure that you're getting your meals on time and that you are prepared. Proper planning prevents poor performance. That's the 5 P's. So you want to get yourself some Tupperware. These are just basic. They come in different shapes and sizes. But here's a funny one. This, and maybe some of you already have some of this. These are from Chinese takeout. So this is a great way of taking a bad meal and making it useful. So you wash this thing, you keep it, and you use it for your meal prepping. Now, these are basically the essential things that you need. Maybe not this one, but most of the stuff that I already shared with you. But a couple of things that you want to consider adding to your kitchen are sandwich bags. You can put, of course, sandwiches. You can put vegetables like chopped bell peppers, onions, tomatoes. You can put your peanut butter sandwiches. You can put mixed nuts in here. They're very convenient. You can also put fruits that you're not going to completely eat today, and then just put them back in the fridge. Another item that I highly recommend, but it's not necessary, it's a blender. This is a $20 blender that mimics a NutriBullet. It's from Walmart, I believe, and it comes with multiple thingies, and it gets the job done. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. So for those of you who are doing protein shakes or smoothies, or just want to make soups or grind some vegetables and make juices, a blender is ideal. I also use my blender to make my pancake mix, so there you have more ways of you can use it. Again, another thing that's optional is a shaker bottle. If you are using any protein powders or any meal replacements, these things are great for whenever you don't have time to use this. You just put the protein powder here with your liquid, shake it up, and you do as you go. Lastly, I have this. It's a kitchen hammer. It has a rough side and a smooth side, and I use this to hammer down chicken breast, because sometimes the chicken breast, when you give me a second, I think I have some chicken breast here. Okay, so here's what happens with chicken breast. So I have it in water because I want them to I think the word is thaw. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. I'll say to get away. I want them to defreeze. But what happens with chicken breasts, and these ones are just in a plastic wrapping, which is perfect. That way I do not contaminate the hammer. But what happens with chicken breast is that, if you can see, it's very uneven, and when you put it in the pan, some parts cook quicker than others. Other ones, they stay raw longer, and you have to flip them over multiple times. But if you use something like a kitchen hammer to just hammer them and flatten them out, then the chicken will cook quicker and more evenly. And I don't know, I just find it very convenient. So if you're struggling with making your chicken breast, or if it's getting if you're cooking it and if it's getting too tough or it's not cooking truly, a kitchen hammer might be beneficial. But if you don't have one of those, you can always use your fist and just punch the crap out of it. It's, you know, as ridiculous as this might seem, it gets the job done, and it's something that you don't have to pay for. And I actually got that from Steve Cook, who is a oops, I made a mess. Steve Cook, who is a bodybuilder, a well-known bodybuilder and fitness model. So don't think it's all the craziness from Robert. So there you have it. All those are the essentials: the cutting board, your knives, your measuring cups, your Tupperware, and a place to cook. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I really hope you guys found some value out of this video, and be sure to stay tuned for part 2, in which we're gonna jump right into nutrition, what foods to eat. And I'm gonna be sharing with you my food list, that way you get a better idea and you can jumpstart your eating healthy habits.